Hey scholars, this video is to help you with your April 28th assignment. You're analyzing the different commodities or different goods that were traded along the Silk Road, obviously besides silk. So you click on that, we'll get right into it. Remember, again, this is a new quarter, so make sure you're working really hard on these assignments and you're starting this quarter very strong. So scholars, we know that silk was the main commodity of the Silk Road because originally only the ancient Chinese knew the secret to producing silk. Over the years, however, this secret was exposed and other civilizations learned how to make silk on their own. This did not lower the importance of silk, however. Other commodities or goods were traded along the Silk Road that civilizations needed in order to grow or survive. You're going to read an article that explains this in more detail. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up this assignment here, and there's 4 questions attached to the article, but you should always read these previews that I write out for you. So again, so scholars, as we know, the Silk Road was most famous for the longest time because for the longest time, only China had silk to trade to the rest of the world. Again, only China knew how to make silk for a very long period in history. And all these other civilizations wanted the silk because it was a luxury good and like a lot of people who were royalty would wear it. So they needed to trade with China in order to get the silk that they wanted. But after these other civilizations found out how to create silk, they obviously didn't need to trade with China anymore. However, this didn't impact the importance of the Silk Road. Many other commodities or goods were still traded along the Silk Road. And furthermore, as you learned yesterday, ideas were spread along the Silk Road. So it was still really important even after silk was kind of not a secret anymore, or at least the secret to producing silk wasn't a secret anymore. So you're going to read another article that focuses on the commodities of the Silk Road, and you're going to answer 4 questions related to them. Then you're going to summarize the importance of the Silk Road by using social studies vocabulary. So what is your job? You're just answering the 4 questions that are attached to this article using certain vocabulary. Make sure you're using social studies vocabulary like commodities, like economics, things like that. So it's pretty simple. When you open up this document, there's 4 questions. Question number 1, why was silk the main commodity of the Silk Road at first? Question number 2, name one commodity that was brought to China from the Silk Road and explain how it impacted the people of China. So this is a good that's from outside of China that was brought to China from the Silk Road, and you need to explain how that impacted the life of the Chinese people. And then for number 3, it says, besides silk, name one commodity that was exported from China to Europe and explain how that commodity changed life in Europe. And then number 4, what determined the prices of the commodities that were traded on the Silk Road? You should be able to find the answer to that question in the documents, but I'm going to answer question number 1 right now. So it says, what was the main, or why was silk the main commodity of the Silk Road at first? So, only the ancient Chinese knew how to make silk, so, comma, so other civilizations needed to use the Silk Road to trade with China to get silk. So only the ancient Chinese knew how to make silk, so other civilizations needed to use the Silk Road to trade with China to get silk. That's one reason why it was the main commodity. That's a little bit of background info. And it also says in the text here that it was a unique luxury item. It created a high demand, and it was lightweight, compact, and expensive, making it ideal for long-distance transport. So I'm going to add that too. Silk was also lightweight, compact, and expensive, which was perfect for a good that is traded over such long distances. So 2 answers. I gave an answer of background info on why silk was the main commodity of the Silk Road at first, and then I gave an answer from the text that explains why silk was the main commodity of the Silk Road. Again, for the rest of this, you're going to use the text. Name one commodity that was brought to China from the Silk Road, explain how it impacted the people of China, explain one good that was exported from China to the rest of the world, explain how it impacted them, and then what determined the prices of the commodities that were traded on the Silk Road. Again, if you need help, make sure you're joining those Google Meets at 10:30 a.m. or you're reaching out to Mr. Woods and I by email. Good luck, and let me know if you need help.